An Post has conducted research, and it turns out there's actually a lot of benefits to taking the time out of your day and actually putting pen to paper rather than sending a quick text message. Now, here to tell us more, very happy to welcome to the studio mindfulness trainer Fiona O'Donnell. Hi, Fiona.
Hi, how are you?
I know so many people that approach this, maybe in the past, this list of, oh, I have to write my Christmas cards, panic, panic, panic. And it seems easier to send a quick text, send to all on the day. Tell us why we're just messing up by doing the text.
Well, I suppose, how does it feel for you when you get that text on Christmas Day? You know, I suppose, does it feel like a sincere, heartfelt greeting? Okay.
It feels like a copy and paste to everyone in your phone book.
And it probably is, really. We've all done it, you know. So I suppose we're just seeing that, you know, we've got this opportunity at Christmas. It's really, really busy. And, you know, taking the time, maybe take an hour out of our busy schedule and actually get the old cards out, send a few handwritten cards and post them. It can be a really nice way to kind of sincerely connect with friends and family we haven't seen all year.
Because an hour isn't actually a long time, like over the course of a week. And it's probably good. Is it good to disconnect completely?
It is, it really is. And, you know, we feel like we've got no time and we feel often that we're so busy, and we are. But actually just removing ourselves for an hour or two and actually even putting the phone on silent or even flight mode, I know.
Mac, what are you going to do?
It can be really, really good for our well-being, actually, you know, disconnecting. We call it in mindfulness moving from the doing mode to the being mode. And we're connecting in, you know, with the actual writing, with the breath, the body, whatever we do to actually connect in with this moment. Even actually enjoying our cup of tea or our coffee and really tasting it, or even that nice piece of chocolate cake. All these things are like supporting us to be present to this moment, which we're missing so much of the time because we're so busy doing.
And so for some people who might say, oh, you know what, I'm too busy, it gets to the evening times, the only thing that relaxes me is 60 minutes of TV and then bed. You're saying maybe an hour's card writing one night could do you a world of good. Absolutely.
Or even just putting the cards by the side, and even 2 or 3 cards in the evening instead of being on the screens. Having this opportunity to write can be a nice little stress reducing technique. But on top of that, there's also other health benefits. Dr. Rick Hansen talks about neuroplasticity, positive neuroplasticity. So we have this opportunity to fire up those neurons around being present. We can even, you know, like bring some gratitude or some, you know, appreciation to the person we're about to write the card to. Maybe think about some of their good qualities. So that's actually firing up those neurons of gratitude within our own brain and our own body. So that has that little health benefit too.
And I can totally see that when it comes to, let's say, there'll be certain obligations where you have to send a card to certain people, and maybe you hate them, and maybe you're thinking, oh God, how am I going to think of something nice to write to this person? How would we best deal? Because there's always going to be those situations, whether it's writing them a card or maybe having to ring them or visit them or do something. How do we deal with it? That pretending we actually like them? Or should we just cross them off the list? Do like Santi does?
Sure. Well, I suppose, you know, if it is hard, you know, there are difficult people in all of our lives. So, you know, if we can bring a little bit of compassion to those people, again, it's an added plus for ourselves, because whatever we're generating within ourselves, that compassion, that love for others, it's also giving us a kind of adding to our pot of love and compassion within ourselves. So I suppose, you know, as well, you know, it can be a lonely time of year. So as well as maybe the people we don't really feel like sending the card to, those people who are maybe on their own, you know, loved ones have passed, you know, it's really important to kind of reach out to those people, I think, as well. And a card can mean a lot for people at this time of year.
Do you find, is there a difference in the men and women? Are women better at sending cards? I don't like to reduce it to men and women, but I just always remember my mother would send out reams of cards every Christmas, and I can't imagine that maybe all men would be as keen. What do you think?
Well, actually, in the survey as well, it seemed to be more women actually enjoyed taking some time away and writing the cards than the men did. So it does seem to be a little bit more popular with the women.
So they really did take up on the mindfulness part, maybe.
Absolutely.
Inadvertently.
It's just easier than cleaning the toilet. It just tells you more about what women do most of the time than sitting down to write. Although I have to say, I mean, our house is manic at the moment because we've a wedding next week and Christmas straight afterwards.
Is the wedding next week?
Yeah. And so everybody went out the other day, everybody. And I did exactly that. And normally I go around going, oh, bloody Christmas cards, I haven't done them yet now. And and you're conscious that if you don't do them quickly, they're not going to arrive in England and yada, yada. I literally made myself a cup of tea and sat down at the kitchen table. I texted my mother going, I'm sitting at the kitchen table, everybody's gone out, there's just me and the cat. I'm writing my Christmas cards and having a cup of tea, and I think I've died and gone to heaven. Because it's normally like a big task. So actually it is true.
I find it funny that you texted somebody to tell them you were disconnecting in a sense.
Well, see, that's the other interesting thing. When I was, because I was being much more mindful and thoughtful doing it, and I suddenly realised that my list, which I print out faithfully every year for my computer for my Christmas cards, hasn't been updated in yonks. So it's got friends on it that I worked with 20 years ago, 25 years ago. But friends I've made more recently, I don't even know their addresses.
I'll give you mine after the show.
Ruth, you're missing. Because we don't, you know, it's all text and it's all kind of electronic communications. And the only other thing that's a fly in the ointment when you're doing your Christmas cards is the, you know, the way you're sitting down and you've got, to Mary and John, and then you think, oh God, they've kids. And you're shouting to, you're going, are they kids or no kids? And how many kids? And what are the kids' names? And, oh my God.
Because your daughter is home now from Australia, so that's a Christmas card you don't have to send. I guess there's a particular...
Well, she informed me this morning, because again, Christmas cards arrived in the door this morning, and I was going, oh, lovely Christmas cards. And she goes, and I go, I love getting Christmas cards. She goes, you never send me one. And that's always because I'm so... I put a note in with her. It's usually a box I have to send out.
Oh.
And you have to do it, well, presents. So you have to do that like very early in December in order for it to be there on time. So she probably doesn't get a kind of traditional card. She gets a note in with her presents.
With her giant box of presents.
What's she complaining about?
Oh, look at...
Are you a card writer, Geraldine?
No, I'm really not. But
would this entice you now? Would this help you switch off a bit?
No, I tell you what I do. I send postcards when I'm away, and particularly to my dentist. Because she will not see me if I don't send her a postcard. If she knows I've been away and I haven't sent her a postcard, and she loves when she gets them, and she has them all hanging up around the surgery and all from everywhere I've been.
Your poor dentist.
Very nice.
So you were dentist. And Aileen, are you a...
I actually did my cards last night. I've been dying to tell you. All done because Harry, my youngest, brought home his cards. You know the way in schools these days, they make their picture and then the school prints them off to make you buy the cards, like, because it says your child's name on the back, so you have no bloody choice. Nobody else is going buying them.
They're lovely.
So I have Harry Cooper Form 4 on the back of them. So he brought me home 50 cards, and I wrote I put my phone upstairs in the charger, so I couldn't hear it. Came downstairs. And they were all either out or fighting in their rooms, and I sat down and I wrote my whole 50 cards last night.
You are like the teacher's pet for the mindfulness coach today.
And I didn't even know what I was supposed to do. I just did it anyway.
Brilliant.
And the other thing about Christmas cards, which is really important, is to buy charity cards, because charities rely a lot on the income they get from Christmas cards. So it's a great way of making a charitable donation as well.
Now, given that Christmas is, like less than 2 weeks away, aside from the writing cards, and it's probably too late. Is it too late to send your Christmas cards?
No.
Stick them in the post anyway. Stick them in.
Actually, I think up to the 20th in Ireland.
Is it? God, on post, you've your work cut out for you this year. Fair play to you. I really admire you. In terms of over the couple of days of the really hectic Christmas period, what would you suggest that people can do? People who say, I've never meditated. I don't know what to do. I'm not going to sit there in a dark room and go, What do people maybe do?
And often people think that mindfulness is about, like, sitting on top of a mountain and being all relaxed and perfect, but actually there's so much more to it. So we can just take little moments, and we're probably doing lots of things in our day already that are mindful. So I suppose it's little things like connecting with friends if we can, and family, and maybe really enjoying that cuddle, or talking to a friend and really listening to them for a little bit longer than we usually do, instead of that butting in, advising, all of that. That can be a lovely mindfulness practice. As well as that, again, just anything to do with the senses, maybe a nice walk on our own when things get a bit hectic. Christmas Day, relations, brothers, sisters, siblings, all that, it can get very, very busy.
And is it like leave the headphones off so that you're not listening, so you're totally ready to wind down?
So just get outside, even for 5-10 minutes, go for a walk, listen to whatever you can hear, it might be very subtle sounds, really smell in and breathe in that fresh air, and have a look with your eyes and really see this as a gift, what we can see. All these things we maybe take for granted, and with mindfulness we have this opportunity to really engage with all of these things.
And can I just say, the night before I wrote the Christmas cards, I went to the top of a mountain.
Listen, too much teacher's petting going on here. Thank you to Fiona O'Donnell, our mindfulness coach, and for letting us know about on post and writing the cards and all that.